Guten Tag, Guten Tag. Hello, hello, buenos dias, buenos dias. Something, 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 something. It is now night time. I ate my dinner and I feel really good. I also got to hang out with my parents, which is great. So let's get to it. Alrighty. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out this fucking markdown debugger thing. I got this random ass fucking pressured into trying to get an extension by VS Code, and I'm like, no, I don't want it. So we're not doing that. So let's think about this real quick. Okay, so basically where I left off was basically building up the folder structure. Source documents, I'm gonna put 1 of 3. I'm also gonna run this through fucking Claude Code to see what it thinks of my overall structuring for this, and I'm not gonna have it change anything until I actually. So let's see. Then wiki are the actual markdowns, so we need to make a wiki folder. So let's go like this. Where the fuck are these fucking things? That's the JSON file for the Obsidian. Let's gonna go ahead and put this into my git ignore. Should I do that in git ignore? Should I feed that up there? I'm gonna keep it up there. You know what? This is gonna be my entire repository. It's my workstation. So I want to be able to recreate this anywhere. So let's go ahead and keep that. It's like a bunch of just text files anyway. And just JSON files, whatever. So let's go like this. New file, and we're gonna make wiki. Nope, not new file, new folder. Wiki. And then inside of here, we're gonna make a new file, index.md. Cool. That's in there. Yes, correct. And then we're gonna make a log.md. File log.md. So we're closing these off. All right. So ingest workflow. When the user adds a new source to raw and asks you to ingest it, read the full source document. So it's gonna read my entire repository. Read every file in the source document folders. All three. And that's gonna be so many. I'm gonna burn through tokens for that. I don't know if I could do that. I feel like that'd be throwing so much at it. In terms of the context window, I feel like this is not going to be able to handle it. I feel like it should do the particular file. The requested file in the, yeah. Read the requested file. We're going to do one file at a time. One of the 3 source document folders. Discuss key takeaways with the user before writing anything. Create a questionnaire for every function in the file that's being read. I'm gonna have to do this file by file. Create a questionnaire Create a summary page in the wiki named after the source. Create or update concept pages for each major idea or entity. Create or update feature pages for each major function, or when should we do that? Create or update feature pages on each major function or feature. That is requested. Create a summary page in wiki named after the source. Correct. Create or update feature pages for each major function or feature. Add wiki links to connect the related pages. That's correct. With new pages and one-line descriptions. Perfect. Append an entry with a date, source, and what changed. Wow, that's very thorough. That's actually legitimately fucking thorough as shit. Nice job, dude. I'm happy I gave this cat credit. You did a good job. Okay. A single source may touch a single source that is normal. Sure. Page format. We should follow the following structure. Markdown, page title, summary, 1 or 2 sentences about the page of raw source files this page draws from. Last updated date of the most recent update. Sweet. Perfect. Literally everything I'm looking for. To draw the purpose. To draw the purpose of the functions. Not just syntax, context. Create, okay, not just syntax, context. So it's not just syntax, context. Pipeline. To discuss for every function, to discuss every function, to draw the purpose and of the function, so it's not just pipeline and syntax context. That fucking makes sense. Create a summary page in wiki named after the source. Correct. Create or update feature pages for each major function or feature. Ignore UI. I need to ignore stuff because there's stuff I don't want to fucking be answering about. It's like there's a lot of shit in here that's just UI. That's like UI elements and stuff like that. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Kind of like this shit right here. Not this. Not this. This. For example, let's just take this one for example. Like this right here is pretty obvious. Like this right here is like, this is a variable. Like I don't need to explain what the purpose of having a conversion, like a freaking dictionary that converts like date number. So it's basically like cron day numbers. So then basically these eventually get tied into like the UI elements that get tied into the function. Like I don't need that. It's like primarily focusing on back end and not talking about front end yet. So that's going to be a whole thing. But basically, this is going to be like a fucking like 3 days of work at least. Not even kidding you. This is going to be like a whole thing. Like all this shit. Like I don't need to explain like these elements here. We're primarily focusing on back end and UI face and UI facing and user facing front end. I'm gonna actually add that as a descriptor here. Every focus on back end and user facing front end. Everything else is so simple that it's like I can trust the LLM to be able to handle that. But when it comes to everything else, dude, nah. All right, create a Okay. Main content goes here. Use clear headings and short paragraphs. Yes, this is my. This is the page format that we're going through still. Related pages, citation rules. Every factual claim should reference its source file. Use the if a function use format, yeah. Claim if two sources disagree, note the contradiction explicitly. If a claim has no source, mark it as needing verification. Create a new should I make it create? That's the question now. Should I make it create a new file for every single function? To add to this, or should I add it to the summary? That's the question. Because then it's like if it has a clean questionnaire, I just don't want to fucking oversaturate the fucking context window. That's what I'm fucking afraid of. So it's like, how do we make this? Let me think. Do I want to do that? do I make a file that's called a folder called wiki assets that I just fill with fucking files? I mean with like .md files that are like the result of the questionnaire? So that exists in memory somewhere? So my question there would be if I can add a fucking a Claude.md file, a Claude.md command that if I ask it to push to my GitHub, let's say, I can create like a Claude MD macro, then basically have it push to scribe. So then that way, I mean, push to context. That way, context also updates the fucking thing. That's another thing I'm considering. That is another thing I'm considering. I want to put music back on again. I miss music. Let's listen to music. I love the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. Fucking awesome shit. They do good shit. And I love Tipper. Tipper is one of my absolute favorites. We're gonna drop down that volume though a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm considering pros and cons of this. I need some pros and cons list. I need to also know a little bit about efficiency. What would be more efficient in relation to so I'm doing like an LLM wiki kind of situation, kind of like whatchamacallit, like Karpathy's LLM wiki pattern. And essentially I'm trying to think of so I'm creating one for my repository, and one of the steps that I have is basically read the requested file of the 3 source document folders. And one of the 3 source document folders, yeah. And then basically I'm having it create a questionnaire to discuss every function in the file that is requested in the requested file. To draw the purpose of the function, so it's not just pipeline / syntax context, and basically focus on the back end. To basically, I'm telling it also focus on back end and user facing front end functions / UI elements. Not backend, not UI backend. Like supplemental elements, not UI backend. Okay. Okay. I'm having it basically ask me questions, so it's not just pipeline and syntax context, which the LLM can already determine based off of the actual files themselves, but basically, so it's just like the actual explanation of the function, and then to focus on backend functions and user-facing front-end UI elements, not UI backend. And that's basically it. But I mean, and then I have other steps that create a summary page in the wiki, there's other stuff. But I'm curious about number 2 here. So about the questionnaire. Should I save the responses as a separate .md file as part of the references that go into the actual creation, or should I just store that essentially in memory for the actual summary that it's going to create in step 3? What would be the more efficient approach? Like, I think maybe having the files, to be honest. That's my gut reaction. Because then it's like it can actually reference my responses instead of having the summary that it compiled after everything. That way is like the raw summary. I mean the raw questionnaire. That's my gut reaction. Yeah. I'm afraid that it's going to be lossy and compress my answers, especially when it starts self-healing and changing things that way that it has one source of truth. And then that way, eventually, like whenever I do updates and whenever I update the actual, but that's the thing, it's like, then it goes the opposite direction. It's like, because then you create a static state of being instead of it being like something that's variable and can ultimately heal and like, well, update. It's like if you have a very strict source of truth, then you can potentially have a very outdated source of truth. Static. That's true. But then it's like, but what if, okay, the purpose of the function, so it's not just like pipeline, and pipeline in syntax context is basically what's variable. No, you answer my question right there. That reframe actually does help because technically what is variable is the syntax and context, the syntax and the pipeline. So basically, I'm specifically asking to. It's not just about pipeline and syntax context, but the actual intention and the purpose behind the function. So that, like you said, is static. But the actual pipeline and syntax context is not something that I'm being questioned about, which I'm specifically, explicitly asking not to be asked about. So it's not it's not just pipeline / syntax context for the summary. So basically focus on backend functions and user-facing front-end functions, not UI backend. All of that stuff, like everything else in between, like the pipeline, syntax, context, all that sort of stuff is variable because that is what's being updated and changed. But the function, but the overall purpose and intention behind the function doesn't change. How it functions does change. I would never actually remove a function because that would be like a major architectural change, and that would have its own separate thing. So it's like if the function doesn't exist anymore, then it should just remove the intention as well because it would be no longer part of the code base. Should I add that into the actual ingestion workflow? If a function that was once in a file is no longer there, remove the file from the wiki? Should remove the function from the... Well, whether it's removed versus they change the name versus any of that stuff, I mean, if the function no longer exists within the file that is in question, then it no longer exists. Then it would need to... Oh, I guess it would need to re-ask me all the questions. Fuck, you're right. So then I guess I could make step 2 does this work within the .md function, I mean the .md syntax for Claude, where if I have step 2a and step 2b, where basically if a function is removed and can no longer be found within the in relation to the original one, step 2a and step 2b situation within the .md function, the .md syntax for Claude, would it be able to like ingest it in that way where basically it's like if a function was removed and is no longer in the function but it is in the wiki, or maybe even a step 8 where it's at the very end, basically see if it exists within like the syntax of another function. Like basically what's the new function? Basically it's a subtraction formula, right? So it's like essentially what is the missing function? Does this other leftover function that is new match it? And if so, then you could draw the conclusion of that in terms of it's like a rename essentially, where it's just a rename essentially. But if it's gone, it's gone. But if it's actually gone, it's actually gone. I mean, then again, it's like you can also just compare it to. I'm thinking about pushing updates like this through like a workflow that I'm creating a macro for in relation to my git push. So then it can compare and contrast the previous git push in relation to the current one. And then just you can see the conclusions there. You can actually see the entirety of the repo history in relation to the previous one. I'm not wrong. No, I'm not over engineering this. What are you talking about? If a source of truth, if a questionnaire already exists. Yeah, you're right. Fucking, you're right. God damn it. Not very frequently. Yeah, you're right. Not very frequently. So maybe instead of focusing on that, I could just let it do whatever it does on the back end and just let that part be more kind of like emergent action, and then have the, and then have it basically have the focus on if there's a new function instead, because that's way more common. So then basically if it's a new function that doesn't have a questionnaire yet, create a questionnaire, right? Then if a function is gone, remove the questionnaire because it doesn't need it anymore. Otherwise it's going to have out of date questionnaire that doesn't exist for anything. It's going to potentially confuse it. Well, how about that? I think that's a little better. No, I mean, you're right, but I'm talking about updating the questionnaire. So basically maintaining that questionnaire up to date in relation to the current repo. So it's like if a function was removed because it's no longer needed, why would I have the, I guess not full questionnaire. I'm sorry. You're technically right. I'm speaking very literally. Yeah, you're right. In the sense of a particular function. So remove the particular function from the questionnaire. That's cleaner, yeah. Yeah. I stated that in the original intent. So basically create a questionnaire to discuss every function in the requested file to draw up the purpose of the function. So it's not just pipeline/syntax context. Focus on backend functions and user-facing front-end UI elements, not UI backend. I should also add, technically, I think, to this. What the fuck is happening with the dictation tool? I should also add to this that if the questionnaire already exists, just update the corresponding questionnaire. Right? That I could add that at the very end of that. Oh, god damn it, dude. All right. update is in relation to new functions, because if it's a new function that exists that did not exist in the previous questionnaire, then it should definitely exist. So maybe I should also do a questionnaire format for it to be able to follow. Then that way it has that as well. I should create that actually, yeah. Well, the questions are not as necessary to actually document. I think the responses are more important in relation to intent. So it's like, it should not actually need the syntax of the questions, I don't think. And then basically focus on the just the responses. But in terms of the actual format for the questionnaire, I didn't mean format is actually not going to be of the questionnaire. Dude, this dictation tool sucks. Format is actually not going to be of the questionnaire. It's actually going to be of the questionnaire results. So that's what I was talking about. Sorry, I should have been more specific. The dictation tool is good because it's accurate on this, but it fucking sucks because it just keeps bugging out like all the time. Fuck it. Let's do the questions and the answers, because then it has the context of that too, I guess. Fuck it. So it's like, it doesn't really matter like that kind of format as much as it is like inter-function formatting. So in the sense that it's like it has very clear parts where it's like, now it's this function, and now it's this function, and now it's this function. Like the actual syntax of the actual question and answers and what kind of all that sort of stuff, I think it should just be basically question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, and then basically it's just divided by function. That's it. Essentially. Clean. So we'll do 2A like this. Shit. It doesn't take that as, let me see, 2-A? No, it removes the actual fucking... Alright, so create a questionnaire to discuss every function in the requested file to draw... take the responses and update if there is not a questionnaire response. What should I call this document? Where should I put this document? Wiki. Should I put it in the wiki, or should I put it in Obsidian? No, Obsidian is basically, that's for the actual Obsidian app. That might be a resource for that. Should I put it in a wiki? Yeah, that's where the log goes. I mean, the log is not actually part of, and this is part of the wiki. Yeah, this fucking wiki slash intent. Folder full of questionnaire answers regarding function intent per file. We'll make a new folder called intent. If there is not a file name intent.md file, in the intent folder, create a new one with responses. With the responses, if there is already a new one, if there is already one, update it to the corresponding file. Please update it. There's two workflows here. This is for adding new files slash wiki maintenance. I need to update this to be able to do pushes, because push workflows in terms of the ingest workflow is going to be different. So this is just this is going to be new file. No. Then what we're going to do is this. Please update it. Sure, let's just do that. Fuck it. And then this is new file ingest. I need to differentiate the two of them. User file name intent.md format. I need to run this through Claude Code to see if, because I still don't know the syntax for this shit yet in terms of how it reads it. I'm just assuming a lot of shit right now, but I'm sketching, so it's fine. Let me go like this. Wiki page format. That way I have that in terms of, oops. Okay. How does it do this syntax for this? Why are these blue and this isn't? What am I doing wrong? I need to place it in a folder. So let's say wiki slash intent slash file name intent.md. Does this do it? Weird. Oh wait, it's the same exact direction as tildes. There it is. Haha. Please update it. Ingest workflow. Git push workflow. It's essentially the same exact thing, except if it's a git push, that's going to be a different type of questionnaire. If there's a new file, create a questionnaire for the user to answer, and might as well have to do it at that point. I guess that's going to be part of my workflow every fucking day. Every day I add a new function or remove a new function. Let me see if everything else here so far. Let me just make sure. I need to basically make it these 3 folders. I'm just gonna go ahead and paste these in. Actually, just go like this, and then I'll just edit them out. Folders, and then the dash dash dashes, we'll remove these like this. Gone. Gone. Go like this. Space, comma there. We'll add the tildes like this. Add that there. We're good there. And then there like this. And then here we'll delete this so it's the same exact line. Awesome. Always update wiki.md and wikilog.md after changes. Never modify anything, in those folders. Here we go. Should I do a separate workflow, or should I do it like this, where it's like if it is a git push request, update request, wiki update request, please create. I think that should live at the top. But you see, this workflow works for both. This ingestion workflow works for both. The only thing that becomes different is the files in question and the functions in question. This is Wiki LLM. This is a Wiki LLM. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. This is a wiki. This is a wiki of the repo for my it's ours doc interface. This is a wiki of the repo for my it's ours doc interface. Why is there an 8 there? What the fuck? Oh, because of the I. Sausage fingers. New file, nope. New folder, nope. It's enter. Intent. We are looking to track syntax, pipeline flow, logic, the logic pipeline, of the entire app, as well as in relation to the servers. Raspberry Pi. And application. Logic / function pipeline. This will serve to create a overview flowchart utilizing Obsidian. But will also serve as the context window for Claude regarding any LLMs or regarding, oh my god, any debugging or function creation. / deletion. Edits. Alright, let's see. How is this looking so far? Just feedback, please. Ah! Can I add at the top like this? Can I do this? AKA Good catch, dude. You're right. Complete questionnaire before. Function which implies a live back and forth conversation. Step 3 says create a new file. Create a new file with the responses. I see. Complete the questionnaire before proceeding. That's good feedback there. Actually, that's very good feedback. Right. Your intent file format, does that match the lowercase hyphens rule at the bottom? Do I do that with a hyphen at the? Ah, there is a second there. Okay, fuck. Alright, I'll use hyphens to match the current formatting. Alright, to answer the first one. Alright. When the user to edit/discuss a file, to edit a file. What's the syntax for that? What's the actual not syntax, the fucking prompt for that? When the user asks you to edit, no, is it to edit? What are we doing here? Update the wiki, be it directly and asks you to ingest a file. This. Does it exist anymore here? Let me just see. Okay. How about this? Wait, oh. Wait, what? Where does it say that? Oh, 103, 103, 103. Oh my lord. You're right. Wow. Okay. Precision is worth fixing. Yes, I am. Still uses Pascal case with underscores while your actual convention. All right. File name. We're gonna find that shit and fix it. Intent. I'll use this one. File name dash intent. 2, 3. Every actual use the format. Now I want to add a GitHub workflow. All right, numbering is fixed. Header section matches file name convention. Oh, those are good. Bet. Wait, where is it with uppercase letters? What? Where? Wait, what? Your rules at the bottom say keep names lowercase and hyphens. Oh, fuck. Alright, fine, we'll keep it in lowercase. I'm just not gonna fix that right now. It's fine. Guile name. I had a friend named Giles one time. I forgot about him. Alright, 3 of 3. Okay. Ah! Like, for example, I guess an example of that would be essentially... Dude, I don't understand what the fuck is happening with this. Is it because of this, the music? Hold on. I guess an example of that would be the... Like, for example, like, let's say a button visual elements, like, that's fucking useless. That would be like back-end shit that I don't need to explain. But let's say like what the button actually triggers is important because that's actual, that ties to the actual back-end. That's what I consider, like, I guess UI back-end. I'm not a fucking, like, I didn't study this shit formally, so I don't know what that's actually called. But that's what I would call it. Dude, this fucking dictation tool is so bad. That dictation tool is so bad, dude. It's so laggy. That's it. Layout, styling, visual stuff. Yeah, skip presentation slash. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, fucking hell. Nope, that's not what I'm looking to do, though. More you learn. Alright, so let's just go like this. That's cleaner. That's way cleaner. It says it in less words. I like it. Alright, whether the backend module or in the handler, complete the questionnaire before proceeding. No. Focus on, let's just right there. Oh yeah, like this. Okay. We'll see what it thinks about this, and then we'll feed it the rest. Okay, that's good. One thing left at flag, straight closing quote. Where? In the end of your purpose section. Oh. I guess I'm just used to ending everything with codes. Alright. I feel solid about this, but the one thing I want to add is actually another type of ingestion workflow. So this is when a user asks me to update, well, asks the LLM to update the wiki and asks you to ingest the file, asks them to ingest the file, right? So that's one workflow. But there's another workflow that I want to add, which would be, at the end of the day, basically, I'm gonna create like a macro just for my, basically just so it does my git add, git commit, and the message, and then the git push at the end, just so it does it all in one shot. And then the one thing I wanted to do is make it so it also sends a message, or well, not message, but either doing this with like sub agents or doing this with the same within the same workflow of the push, where basically it would then also trigger an update for the wiki, where I actually have to sit down and answer questions about anything that was added if it's needed, or anything that was removed. Well, removed I don't really need to worry about. That's just a matter of removing. But that's where the editing comes in the sense of like updating as well, in addition to lint. So it's like in addition to that, that's another type of edit that exists. But this is more of like a manual edit. Well, in addition to that, I fucked up there. So the other thing I want to do is also add like a command for it to compare the previous push to this push, so then that way it knows exactly what has been changed and updated exactly, so then it can make the wiki changes in relation to that and updates in relation to that. Yeah, exactly, the git diff. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Well, manually ingesting a file is just for right now. Meanwhile, I ingest files manually. So that's just for right now. But in relation to the push and the git push, yeah. So in relation to that, that's going to be the more ongoing common function. It's just manual ingestion is going to be very uncommon after the initial manual ingestion. It's just that I have to prepare for it because that's the step I'm on right now. But I would also like to have that in the future just in case I ever do need to do a manual ingestion. Everything after that is going to be git push. But it's just nice to have that option as well, I guess. It's like, as of right now, it's my main workflow because we're still building the wiki, but in the future, I mean, you don't really need it. You know what I mean? But it's good to have just in case. You know, it's like if you're building it, might as well keep it just in case. It doesn't hurt. Let me look at my freaking. Did I have anybody that's looked at this yet? Gonna send me a chat? No. Yes. Wait, I didn't answer it? Wait, what? When the push triggers the wiki update and it hits a new function that needs a questionnaire, do you want to stop and ask during the push macro, or do you want it to complete the push? Well, it should complete the push to start with. Like because otherwise it doesn't have anything to compare to, right? So it should do the push first. And then at the end of the push macro, do the comparison and then do the questionnaire right after. So then that way I can answer the questions. I think we should also add like something like a document, like within the questionnaire, if the questionnaire wasn't answered, like let's say in the case of needing to fucking just dip for the night and I just like, let's say I'm tired as shit, putting a skipped questionnaire for now, and then if there's ever a time, that would be like a third workflow, which would be at the beginning of the next day where I can open with the questionnaire instead. It's like, so that way I have the option to end the day with the questionnaire or open the day with the questionnaire, but it should always be done. That I can't get away with. I can't get away with not doing it. Because the whole point of having this updated is basically for my own benefit and also for the benefit of the LLM when I'm doing debugging and all that sort of stuff. Yep, exactly. Shit. Well, then it compiles. It just basically adds to the next questionnaire date. If it searches the entire questionnaire, like all the questionnaire files for a skip, and then compiles all the skips that I've had, and then that way it adds them. That would be how I would approach it. So then that way it adds all the skips, because at the very least, it is... noting that there was changes and there was skips, add a little bit of like a context of what changed, and then that way it can use that in relation to the new questionnaire it adds the next go around. But I should not let it compile more than like 2 days. But I, once again, either start of the day or end of the day, need to do the questionnaire. I cannot get away with that. Because once again, I need this. Yeah. I want to enforce this part of the workflow in the sense that I cannot continue work without it actually being answered. Every single day it has to, I mean, that should be part of my Claude.md, to be honest. If I'm starting work for the day, it should check for any skips. And then if any skips exist, I can't start work, lock me out. Just by default, because if I'm starting work for the day, that means I'm signing up for a couple of hours of work, right? So if I put things off, that's on me, and I have to make up for it, because if I put things off at the end of the day because I'm tired, that's understandable. But if I'm starting the day, I have to put the time aside to do that, because I'm already signing up for hours of work. You know, it's not going to be like oh, I'm going to do a quick like 30-minute sprint. Like there's never a situation where I do that. Exactly, just for wiki related work. So that would be part of my Claude.md document within the actual repository that I'm working in. So it's already, if I'm already CD'd into the repository folder, it's already going to automatically trigger. So it has to be part of my Claude.md file, but that's another thing I got to do. Honestly, I can't see where there would be an emergency override. I don't think that that's actually something I should do. I think hard lock, no exceptions, because it is that literally that important. It is like, it's a fundamental system in relation to the context window of the LLM. I need to have this. Otherwise, I am literally just going to be burning tokens again for no fucking reason. I actually have questions regarding that in relation to writing the workflow for that. Should I just do another 2 hashtag ingest workflow, or should I call it a git push workflow? And then a questionnaire start of day workflow underneath that with like the 2 hashtags, like one right after the other for that? Or should I add it to the ingest workflow? Can you actually summarize the steps that we're already discussed already? In the format that is required? Because you already have all the context. Let me read it too. Wait. No. So that's actually coordinated between the actual macro, which will exist in Claude.md, and then this is just focused on the responsibilities regarding the wiki. That's it. Exactly. Alright, so compare the current push to previous push. No. Yup. I'm gonna create that file right now. Pending dash questionnaire .md. Awesome. Change date, remove function. Yep, that's correct. That is literally perfect. And also, and I gotta update git push macro. All right. Okay. Can I just paste this? Let's see. Nope. All right. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 space, Wait, nope. 1, 2, 3. Fuck. Alright, cool. I think I'm pretty much done with this. Oh shit. How did I miss that one? Yep, I already added that. I already added the file. And perfect, let's go ahead and fucking run it. I want to see what it does if I try... So here's the one thing that I need to also add to the git push workflow. To only identify what changed within the observable folders. So like what's considered the raw folder, like raw source documents. So I think I need to add that to this step here. Yeah, I think that's... Yep. That would be a fun loop. Fuck yeah! I'm so curious! Alright, so let's see. We have Obsidian running somewhere. There you are. Alright, let's close this and let's reopen it. Awesome. So let me just go ahead and look at Wiki. Okay, so Claude. Oh, fuck yeah, we're so close! We're so close, we're so close, we're so close. Alright, we're not done yet. Technically not out of the woods yet. Okay, we're not done yet. We're not out of the woods yet. So, the one thing that we need to do now is update the Claude MD to basically say if you receive a wiki request for a particular file to trigger this file and then find the correct work instructions It is a fucking mess. To be completely frank, it is a fucking mess. But we are organizing it. So it's not a fucking mess entirely. It does have some useful shit, but I do have stuff in there that should go in a scribe.md file. There's a bunch of shit that's like all over the place, spread across like 3 different like .md files that don't fucking make sense because I just did not take the time to actually write out the .md files myself like I did this time around, where it's like everything's concise and clear. So I have to still do that. So I've just been adding shit to it that I needed to do. So don't judge. But I'm actually just gonna work on this in Claude Code now because they already have the context window for that. So it's like I might as well just do that in Claude Code instead of working within this chat. But I do need the context window for this chat so I can feed it to Claude Code, please. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's right. The other thing I do with this. Alright, we're gonna actually exit out. I'm gonna do something that people might judge me for, but fucking I don't care. Check this out. I made a what is it? What is the word? Dangerously permissive or whatever the fuck. I made a thing for it. I still go to plan mode, but that way I can just go between plan mode and just fucking do whenever I need it to just fucking do and don't have to sit there like approving every goddamn thing. So here, like this. I call it, I made a little shortcut. It's a ZSH shortcut. It's a fucking, I call it talk dirty. All right. Let's also do one for the git push, please. Thank you. Fuck it. Might as well feed it that. Meanwhile, it has the context window. Oh shit! No, wait. Woo! That was a fucking close one. That was a fucking close one. Oh, that was dangerously close. That was, one might say, dangerously permissive. Ah! Whatever the fuck it's called. What is it called? Bypass permissions. Dangerously bypass permissions. I want fucking plan mode, not. We're fucking working for the first day in like 3 days finally. I've been just cleaning shit. Let's see what we got here. Alright, so this is another one that I gotta fucking clear out. Let's see what we got. We're just gonna do Claude for this one, fuck it. The status. I wanna see what my fucking token usage is so far. 2% for the week, not bad, dude. I have plenty of tokens. We have what's contributing to your system is approximate based on local sessions of this image, does not include other devices that Claude. Last 24 hours independent characteristics of your usage. I'll break down 10% in this period. Try other window. DW week. Oh, they added that. Yeah, you could sell how many fucking days I've been going. So my current streak, I finally ended my 14-day work streak, just so y'all know. Fucking crazy. Oh, there's an all-time. Fucking Christ, dude. $15.3 million tokens, dude, in the last 30 days. 15.7 million. How come the last 30 days is bigger than all time? That makes no fucking sense. Alright, well, we're gonna keep that context window here. Alright, let me look at this. This is how I like things read, by the way, because it's like short, and I also have it color coordinate things, so then that way I can see what the fuck things are. I want more color. I want more color, to be honest, on the text. I need it more, just because fucking ADHD is annoying as fuck. The current user has built a wiki workflow that defines ingest workflow. Yeah. I am Lord. Yeah. I am Lord. Cool. So consistently read. Wiki requests do not block. Will not block on pending questionnaires at session start and will not trigger. User wants to add. Recommended approach. Add a single new top level section wiki to Claude.md placed after yes. Let me take a look at the actual wiki. Let's see what you got. Trigger git push workflow defined, and where's my git push? Where is the git push? It should git add, git commit. To the git push workflow. In relation to the git push workflow, I think we should also add for Claude to just trigger git add period and then git commit and then create a commit message and then git push and then trigger the git push workflow. Is that somewhere already, or is that not in there yet? If it's not, then please add it to the plan. Okay. This should be just for Claude.md. I'm hoping that it doesn't actually fucking... No. Fuck. I don't think that /byteaway actually updates the fucking request. So the git... Ah, fuck. Okay, wait. It might actually just add it to the git, to the Claude.md. Let's hope that it does. And keeps all wiki stuff wiki. I should have fucking mentioned that. Please. Come on, buddy. Come on. All right, let's take a look. Claude.md, perfect. Okay. Let's read this on the top. Yeah. We already checked that out. Recommended approach. Okay, here we go. Wiki, MD, wiki request routing, wiki start the enforcement, questionnaire block, commit, push pipeline, full add commit pipeline chain authorization. New not in repo, wiki.md, correct. Git push workflow router to the git push workflow, and there we go, repo wiki.md, correct. Subsections 1, 2, and 4.9 the source of truth. Subsection 3 lives entirely within Claude.md because the commit pipe is not documented. Yes. File to modify Claude.md, correct. Alright, let me just make sure it's all Claude.md. None of that should be the wiki. Okay, cool. So let me just take a look at that. Wiki request routing. When the user makes a wiki related request, and just update, lint, or question against the wiki, you must read. Yes. This workflow instruction is explicit exactly before taking any action. The file is the source of truth for all wiki operations. Correct. Start of data enforcement at the start of the work session, whether it contains unanswered questions. If it does, block all wiki-related work. Block all wiki-related work. Technically correct until the pending questionnaire is complete via the pending questionnaire workflow in. Yes, no exceptions, no override. Non-wiki work may proceed normally. Correct. Commit push pipeline. When the user asks you to commit, push, or ship work, you are authorized to run full pipeline end-to-end without further confirmation. Git add relevant files or credentials. See the global commit safety rules. Git commit with, where's the global commit safety rules? We'll check that out in a second. The message you draft yourself from the stage div. Existing commit. Git push is linked and branches. Retract remote correctly. Immediately trigger git push workflow. Below, the pipeline is not complete until the git push workflow is run. Do not split into multiple confirmation rounds. Treat the user's commit. Wow, this is explicit as shit. If any step fails, stop and report. Do not skip to step 4. After every git push, whether you ran it via the pipeline or by push manually, trigger the git push workflow defined in that workflow diffs the current push against the previous push within the 3 source document folders. Identifies the removes the functions. But this is already within the actual. So the git push workflow is already within the. So this git push workflow that you typed out is already within the repo_wiki.md. I don't think it needs to be restated in the Claude.md file. Correct. Who knows their shit? I know my shit. Alright, it's done. Motherfucker. I'm so used to being throttled because I've been using so many fucking tokens. I'm so used to being throttled like crazy. Correct. Correct. Git push workflow, git push workflow. After every git push, wiki belongs near the top because it governs routing source for the entire path. That's correct. Same as testing, keeping it as one top level section with 3 subsections. Rules ABC, cool, mirrors iOS files, build files, rules ABC, correct. Let me just take one more quick look at the questionnaire start of day. There it is. At the start of any work session, whether if this does not work, work. There was a question that I thought about that I can't fucking remember. There was a question that I thought about that I can't fucking remember what it is. Ah! That's what it was. Okay, I need to double check my... Well, that's for later. Right now, routing, this is correct. You are correct, friend. Alright, so the other thing I gotta check is actually the repo wiki to make sure that I have a... If the user types skip questionnaire. That's already in there. Okay, cool. That's perfect. Fucking so goddamn fast, dude. Dude, last week I was spending like 15 minutes like wait time, dude. I was so throttled. Oh my god, 2 days ago? 2 days ago, I was so ridiculously throttled. Oh my god. Solid. Alright, let's try something. Fuck it. Let's give this a go. I got my brand new fucking... Oh, wait a minute. No, we're good. Alright, let's see. Where is it? Where are you? What the fuck? Oh yeah, there you are. Damn. Alright, cool. Okay. Let's ingest a file. Let's see what's up. Here's a pretty simple one. I do want to refactor this because it's embarrassingly not refactored right now, so let me see here. Right now we're working on cron window. Everything else works technically. Relative path. Okay, let's ingest this into the wiki. Let's see what's happening. Wait, first let's clear the context window because this shit's gonna be fucking huge. I might not have all the answers to this. I might not. This one was done very Claude code. Most of the functions in the rest of the repository is all me. This one is the one that's not all me, which is why I'm having the most amount of trouble with it. To be completely frank here. This is let's see what it does. I'm so curious. If it can take it in, oh my god, dude, if this fucking works. If this fucking works, dude, oh my god. I'm gonna be one happy person. Let's see what this stuff is real quick. What is this? Expand. Open with graph view. Well, that's interesting. Show no orphans. There we go. Now we have a good filtering system for this. I guess that's where my filters are. My gefilter fish. Why? I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind. I feel like the word filter sounds a lot like gefilte fish. Sounds like gefilter fish. Alright, it's thinking for a hot minute. I'm so curious, I wanna see this shit work. I'm so curious, I wanna see this shit work. All right, it's gonna ask me questions. Ooh. I do have an answer for that. Ooh, I have so many questions. I have so many fucking answers. All right, let's see. I am nervous. I feel like I'm about to take a test. And I'm doing this streamed live, so this is fucking nerve-wracking, dude. Okay. Q1. Let's look at this. Honestly, I feel like it would be just a nice analytic to have in relation to setting this up, but also it was honestly just a debug tool, mostly. But I think I'm gonna keep it just because it is useful to have on one level or another. I know it's a little redundant, but you never know what kind of watch or timekeeping device the user actually has access to, so it would be nice if you're setting a time dependent system and setting to have the time available there. I just figured that'd be nice on the relation to a UI level. Okay, these questions are not too hard because this system's actually not that complicated, which is why I gave it to Claude Code. I was wanted to see if this worked. All right, let me see. If the DB read fails, load schedule suddenly falls back to defaults, or should it surface an error? Yes, it should. Well, you actually found a fucking bug here. Holy shit. Holy shit. That actually might be what's breaking in my current test. I'm not even kidding you. That actually legitimately might be what's breaking. So that should actually fail loudly. So that's gonna be actually like a task that I'm gonna need to do. But yeah, that actually should fail loudly. Let's mark this as a bug currently. That is not supposed to do that. It should fail loudly. Wow. Okay, solid. That actually literally, that I was chasing that bug particularly. I thought the problem was with the write, but it's potentially with the actual read itself too. We'll find out. All right, so you write to watchdog status and install cron tab line. If cron fires the scan, what does the db road add? Doesn't cron need the variable to read, or where does it store the data for the in memory? Like, where does that store it? It needs something to be able to read, right? Am I reading that correctly? How does cron memory work? Actually, that is a question in general. This is my first time working with cron. Where does it store that variable? Does it not need to be there anymore? Does it not need that variable, like from the database? at all. But, I mean, that the other reason why I would hold it there would be basically to populate the cron variable for it to be able to update the time that it would need to. Basically, it's what's carrying it from the interface to cron, which I know can definitely live in memory temporarily, but I just figured that'd also be something worth keeping. Also to populate the actual UI with the current settings and the current date time for the cron action. Because the cron is the source of truth. I know, not Watchdog, my god. Watchdog is the source of truth. So it's like that's where all of the database actions live and all the write actions live. I just figured out another potential bug because of that. Wow, okay. This is actually pretty fucking useful. Holy shit, dude. For all functions related to the database and all writes related to the database. Cron should just be a trigger. What is up with the fucking dictation tool on this one too? It's not usually this bad. Did I answer that question correctly? In relation to what you were asking? Please respond before adding. Which am I currently on? Q3. Where's Q4? Is that still Q3? No, that was Q4. Where is Q4? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Alright, Q5. Alright, cron line is tagged. I actually don't know the answer to that one. Scan schedule. I need context for this one. Context for Wait, don't answer the question for me though, fuck. I just need context for it. Don't answer the question, I just need context. Wait a minute. Let me look at the question again. Cron line is tagged. Oh, duh. Okay. So it's tagging, like the little fucking comment. I just don't think of it as tagged. All right, so it's a comment and updates use to remove the old one. Repo standard or cron tamia convention, or is this a specific feature? What would the use of that be? It'd just be for testing, right? Is this a UI specific? Is this a UI specific element or a testing specific element? I don't really remember what this was used for. That's essentially what the question is. Is this an element of cron, or is this the actual tab itself for like the UI? I already understand that part, but oh, so it's just like, so it's literally like the UI naming, like the UI element for the text. Element. So it's literally like the UI element. Oh. It's a production UI element, but it shouldn't even be asking me about that. Why is it asking me about that? That's why I'm so confused. I believe that's a UI element, and it doesn't actually need to be asked about because you can determine that from looking at it. It's not a button or that triggers a bunch of backend. It's literally just a UI element, isn't it? UI element button that is triggering a bunch of functions on the back end. It's just a UI element, isn't it? Okay, this one I can answer. This one I can answer very well. So the reason for that is kind of in relation to reason number for question 3 as well. But here's the thing, this is another potential bug because I think that the actual write command shouldn't exist within the cron action. I believe this should actually live within the actual scan function. So the scan should then write. So this is another potential bug in general because, well, but to answer your question though, it's kind of like question 3. All of the database functions regarding the coordination of any database updates, unless they are like settings or anything related to that kind of stuff, needs to go through the watchdog Python file because it's the one source of truth for the functions themselves, but also the write itself needs to happen through the watchdog. That way there's only ever one user. Element writing. I think that's actually the other half of the bug because it's not writing, but it's also not writing the actual. Fuck. Okay. All days always updates and checks all 7 days. So it actually literally does check in every single day in the UI box. Is potential bug. Let me look at that actually. No. The days are one. Ah, shit. That was deliberate by Claude code, but yes, technically Sunday should be the first day. And it should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instead of 0, because 0 might confuse it. That actually might also be another bug, potentially, or the source of all the other bugs, and it's just cascading. That's another potential. Well, why a manual refresh button instead of an auto refresh or an open or on a timer? Let me look at that actually. Take a look at that actually. Oh, wrong one. Wait, what? Oh. There it is. What? Why can't it connect? What? Is that actually still bugging out? Is that what's actually happening there? Why does my IP address keep auto-updating? What the fuck is happening there? That is bizarre as shit. Well, I'm gonna look at the UI, but that's a whole other can of worms I gotta figure out. Fuck. Schedule. Ah, nuts! It's all broken because of that shit. I can't look at the fucking. What the shit happened? Hold on, I gotta look at this real quick because I legitimately have no idea why the fuck this is happening. Hold on. Holy fucking shit! What the hell? What the hell is happening here? Alright, let me go ahead and actually take a look at this. Let me look at the actual thing. I'm looking at my Raspberry Pi now. Let's see. This should just fucking work. Why is there no signal? What? I'm feeding a signal? Oh, it's not plugged in all the way. That's why. There you are. Alright, what the fuck is happening here? Shutdown requested. Is there like a fucking massive like corruption that's happening? I don't know what. I've never seen this before. So let me go ahead and fucking, let's go back here. Let's do a shutdown and reboot. See what the fuck happened, because there's some weird shit happening, because I'm able to SSH into it. Look. It shouldn't be asking me for that. It should not be asking me for that. Weird. it's reloading, rebooting. All right, we're gonna take. I have to fucking figure that shit out. Let's see what's up. That's some weird bullshit. What the fuck? That's some craziness. That should not look like that. That was weird, dude. Let's hope that it doesn't do that again. Oh, something happened with GPG. It failed. Alright, let's see if this shit works now. What the fuck? Alright, let's see if I can actually open the app. Hold on a second. What the fuck? That was so weird. Hold on a sec. Let's try to open the app. Let's see what's up. It should, hopefully that was just a weird... No! There's some weird GPG failure happening. Some weird shit. Ah! No! Okay. Well, we gotta figure that shit out. That's broken. Why is GPG broken? Why is it asking me for my password? The keygen should be, unless it got corrupted. Again, due to the fucking power failure, then I do gotta fucking address that shit. So my fucking Raspberry Pi is asking me, after I set up the keygen, it's asking me for, like, through my initialization, it's asking me for my password again after there was a power outage. I'm guessing my keygen got corrupted in some way, shape, or form. Some weird shit's happening there because I saw this also, there was like a GPG failure that occurred. So that's something else that's worth noting in the reboot. Like you know how like when you reboot your Raspberry Pi headless, it shows like all the things that it's booting, and then it showed GPG failed. So there's nothing running through GPG that is associated with SSH or keygen. I know that for a fact. Weird. Yeah, the key pair. Yeah, exactly, the key pair for connecting to the Pi. And also the head scale to head scales one. I mean, that's another one. That's a secondary one. The SSH key pair for connecting to the Pi, exactly. I'm thinking that something happened when there was a power outage that... But the thing is, it's like GPG, all that stuff was already set up. There's no reason why it should be failing at this point because I haven't touched it. It's like once it's set up, it doesn't get touched again. Unless it's using it for something, but it hasn't used it for anything because it doesn't need it. Like I don't have any use for it within the actual application as of right now in terms of the stuff that I've been testing or changing. But once again, that has nothing to do with the actual SSH key pair. Hue puña! That's worth knowing. Let's check that. Okay, there it is. It exists. That is so weird. No, dude, I swear to God this shit's still there. It's there. It's right there, dude. Wait, what? But the weird part is, it's the power outage did not affect my Mac. It's running on a battery. It literally did not. It literally did not. Weird, dude. All right, that's debugging for later. That's a whole other set. I have to finish these questions. I gotta go to the bathroom though. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back. I have so much shit to do. All right, that's cool. But we're gonna see that. I want to see this shit work. That's what we're focused on today. that's a whole other bug for a whole other day. But we're gonna answer this. Refresh button. I think the refresh button was an element that we were just trying to work out. I have to double check this. Okay. So I think the refresh button was actually like a save button. Okay, so I think the refresh button was actually like a save button. Or something along the lines of that. If I remember correctly. I was gonna open the UI to figure it out, but for some reason it's bugging out right now. It's not even connecting to the SSH. I have to like reconfigure my entire Raspberry Pi because of some potential bug that happened due to a power outage. So that's a whole other thing, but fuck. Oh yeah, that is a incoming placeholder. Like that's a feature I'm working on. Dude, what the fuck is happening to the dictation tool? That is a feature that is coming in soon. An incoming feature. So it's not there yet, but it's just a placeholder. It's a genuine placeholder. Alright, let's see what you do. How many tokens has this used up so far? Alright, we're at 3%, 2% for the week. 3, 2, 2. 7, 2, 2. Not bad. Okay. I'm more concerned about the weekly usage than I am about anything else. But let's see what this does. We're gonna see what this does. And it's like hopefully it fucking does the good things that I want it to do. And I think I'm using high effort. Okay, cool. That's exactly what I should be using on this. Nice. It's Sonnet, but I should also be potentially using Opus for this action instead of Sonnet. Meanwhile, this is doing this. I want to figure this shit out, dude. I want to figure this out. Dude, it should not be asking me for the password. It really should not. I'm gonna try fucking deleting the other, the that, yeah. I'm using my Avahi. Could it have fucked up my Avahi? I didn't know that was even an option. That's pretty cool. Ah, this actually says exactly what's wrong with it. That's a cool tool. I don't know, I could do a verbose version of that. Ah, I restarted my computer. Like, just not too long ago. Alright, let's see if this shit finished yet. No, it's still doing this thing. Oh, buddy, I can't wait to see this! But I have a second. Huh. Because I haven't rebooted my Mac. I haven't rebooted my Mac since I set this up. Shit, so that's potentially actually a bug on my app end of my application. That's actually technically potentially a bug on the app end of my application, because when I set up the keygen, I should also set this up so it survives reboots, because I don't think I actually am. I think this might actually be a persistent bug, because this is the first time I restarted my machine since I initialized this dock through my wizard that set up the SSH key and all that sort of stuff. Oh my lord, I want to see what it did. I'm quite excited. Where the fuck is my... Oh, this one right here. Ah, it's happening! This is the cron window. It's tied to my watchdog. It's tied to this index. What is index? Okay, let me see something. That has nothing in it. What the fuck is that? Alright, so cron window goes to schedule scan function. Cron window goes to SSH utilities. It goes to SSH utilities. Aha! Scheduled scan. Cron window. SSH utilities for the SSH stuff. What's index? Oh, that's the index. Oh, I'm happy! So that's the cron window. Can I make that bigger? Wait, but that's a cron window intent. That's not the actual... Wait. It should not be adding... nuts. It should not be adding the cron window intent to the actual... Oh, nuts. Oh wait, no, here's cron window. What I wanted is for it to, well, at least I can see what files it connects to. But cron window intent should not be tied to this. It shouldn't. SSH utilities. I need to fine tune this. Do not add cron window intent to the... Ah, fuck it. That could stay in. Fuck it. So I can see cron window. It uses... So this is actually correct. It uses schedule scan. Schedule scan uses something else. So I need to ingest schedule scan still. But as of right now, let's see. I am so fucking happy right now. Alright, this shit's working. At the very least, this shit's working. And I'm figuring out the other shit. So, wait, we gotta go back. Yeah. So that shit worked. Yup. Yep. I'm so happy that's the issue. Now the question is, why the fuck is GPG coming up as broken? So add host to SSH config so it sticks. Setup. After init and after local setup. I'm just adding these notes here. Because that's breaking. That's the reason why that shit broke. So let's see here. It worked! Now let's see if this shit actually, let's see, we're at 7%, 2%, 3%, 11%. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I think the functions. I think the formatting needs to be better. Okay. I think the formatting needs to be better. I think it needs to actually state the functions. Now that's the thing. So let's take a look at that again here. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. Fuck, dude. Well, I've been working almost like 3 hours, so that's not too bad. 4 hours, that's... But still, I'm like, I really want to finish this. Let's finish this. Let me look at one of these wikis. Let me just see. Now, it should add all of the repo to it. It should add all the functions in the file to it. So this is what this is, okay, yeah. All right, we're getting close in terms of the wiki. So this is the first page entry that I got out. There's a couple of them that it put out, but I'm just going to show you the current formatting and how I want it to actually be. So we're going to workshop this a little bit. So in relation to the current formatting, it's pretty much doing a description of everything, which works. But what I really wanted to do is actually state all of the functions that it is connecting, that it's using. Hold on. The file has created within it. The file has created within it, but also the functions that it uses from other files, and then the other files that it actually has. So it also references the other files, but it also has links that attach to the other files that explains what those functions are. So there should be like a breakdown of function per function per function, but it's not doing that. It's just doing a generalized description. I know I didn't specify that. Exactly. So it should be basically a granular function by function by function map connected by links to each corresponding file. But at the top, it's just the descriptions. Like all the stuff that it currently has is correct, but I also would like a function by function breakdown, and for it to actually be able to connect to the other, to have links that connect to the corresponding files that have the function descriptions for the functions that this one function uses. Am I making sense there? Dude, the dictation tool is so bad right now. Is there problems with that right now? Like, is there? I'd be willing to bet it probably does have something. No? That's the last. April 6th was the last time they had fucking voice. April 7th. Why is it so bad right now? Is it my internet connection? Could that be it? Well, basically, at first, it doesn't actually have to describe what every sub function does. Just basically add it to a corresponding file page, and then just state that the function exists in it until I ingest that page. Dude, this fucking dictation... This dictation tool sucks right now, dude. I don't understand what the fuck is happening. It's never happened like this before. This has never happened. Wait, am I on fucking Wi-Fi? I am on fucking Wi-Fi. Oh god, this is gonna break my goddamn network thing. This might actually break it. That's why I'm getting so bad here. Let's see. Let's hope this doesn't break my network, my local fucking... Yep, we're good. We're still on. Okay. That's what's fucking happening. Function. Basically, it should, like, if it doesn't exist, if the file doesn't exist yet, then it should just... then you should create the file, then add the fact that the function exists within the file, but it still needs to be ingested. It hasn't been ingested yet, right? So there's gonna be stuff like that until I finish going through the entire repository. That's part of the ingestion stuff. So I guess this would be main ingestion function. Basically, it would be part of the main ingest workflow, the first one that we're working through. And then, yeah, so it would just, if the file doesn't exist yet, just create the file, add the function, the fact that the function exists within the file, but you don't have to actually go through and actually ingest the other file yet because it's not the file that we're currently ingesting. I think I'm gonna run this on Opus now instead of fucking Sonnet. Exactly. Yeah, please go ahead and update the whole wiki page. Let's go for that. Just give me a highlight on top of, like, in text, not within the actual markdown file, but in the text overview. Give me the overview of the changes that you did, please and thank you. I say please and thank you to the AI, by the way. I do. I don't understand why it's so fucking weird. Can you give me this as a mic, as a... Oh wait, here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay, I just haven't finished yet. Okay. So just double checking here. When you say... So the actual formatting should essentially reflect, like, basically like a text version of the entirety of the functions. So like this function, and then it has like this function contains these functions, and then it has hyperlinks for the functions. It does a description of every single function in the function section. Yes. So like, let's say a function calls, like, let's say you have, let's just do a quick simple example, hello world, right? So you have a print function that has a variable that can fill in any string data. And then you have in another file, for some ungodly reason, you have a variable that exists that's called hello world. And you import that into the other file. Like you import the actual, like, I guess it was a class variable, a data class, whatever the fuck. And then you basically import that data class, and then you populate the hello world print function with that data class variable. So then you would essentially say that within this print function, you're importing that one data class that's coming from this file, and then you would have a description of the actual function itself on top of that. Is that making sense? Yes. 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 Fucking beautiful. No. Just update the full, .md file, please, and thank you. I have the tokens, I might as well use them. I wonder if anybody commented or anything yet. No, nobody. Nobody's watching. Okay. Oh, wait, one more thing. The intent files are backend. They shouldn't be reflected in the graph. So they shouldn't actually be, I mean, if you, can you reference them without them being reflected in the graph? If not, then never mind. And please start over, I'm sorry. But if so, please update it with that. If there's a way to do that, if not, then don't worry. So it shouldn't really reference the backend material. That's what the actual naming convention for the intent file exists. So basically it should be summarizing the intent in there. If that makes sense. It shouldn't be using it as actual, like as an actual node within the graph. It should all be just files and functions. Like literally that's all I want there. Update the full thing, dude. Nah. Then please update the full thing. Thank you. I'm sorry. Once again, thank you. I fucked up, dude. Yes, need to apologize. If you can't be nice to a machine, you can't be nice to a human. That you are as nice as you treat the, because I've screamed at my machines and I'm working at not doing that shit because that is not correct. So it's like, if you can be nice to a machine, like it's kind of like dogs. It's easy to be nice to dogs. I mean, for most people with a soul, but there are people out there that treat animals like trash, and usually I will judge somebody based on how they treat animals. It's that, like, it is that black and white for me. And I think the same thing should be true with machines. I don't see why that's any different. I don't see why that's any different at all. Did you also add the function side of things, like the actual like function description and then the sub functions and all that stuff? Is that in here? Sorry about that. I just want to make sure. All right, cool. That's fucking great. Correct. All right, save. We're saving. Okay. It should not be editing this. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. All right, let's try this again. Okay, let's ingest this file, please. And make sure that it follows the new conventions. I already ingested this file once, but I updated the formatting for the actual pages and everything else. There it is. Oh wait, shit. We're gonna fucking fix that real quick. Close. Ah. Here it is. Copy, and we go back. We're gonna do it with Opus. Slash model Opus. I already am on Opus. What? Okay. I already did that with Opus, so that was actually pretty like conservative But let's see what it does, what it asks me this time around. This will be the last thing I do today. And I pretty much have it down now. Then that means I need to reformat my entire fucking doc again to reset it to make sure that I can do the initializations and this local setup step again correctly, because it's fucked right now. Annoying. Alright, I'm gonna let it run. I'm just like I'm trying to think of something else I could do in the meantime. Technically, I could fix this in the local setup. Technically, I can do this right now, actually. Is it on max? Oh. Alright, and then we're gonna go to Sonnet. Clear, cool. Alright, let me take a look at this file. I think it's within my fucking local setup. Setup choice window. Where is my local setup thread? There it is. Alright, cool. I just realized if I change this, I'm gonna be forced to fucking write the full questionnaire for this. It's gonna force me to ingest everything. Oh lordy, I can't do this yet. Otherwise I can't commit. I need to finish the other... Please, let's see. Correct. This is actually fucking solid. All 4 pages, please. Thank you. Correct. One, two. Submit answers. I love those questionnaires right there. That's like literally like my one of my favorite things about fucking Claude. Let's see what it does. I want to take on this fucking thing because it's such a quick fix. It's literally just adding some shit to the fucking bash command to add the local key. To just basically set the local key to be able to do stuff, but... annoying. I kind of want to watch it and see what it does. It's probably going to take a couple more minutes. Oh, no, it's still planning. Fuck, I haven't even started yet. Alright, let me see. Alright. This is a long one. Fuck. Yes. Correct. Only reconstructed, correct. Ah, it's gonna make me do it! Oh, son of a gun. It's gonna make me do all the fucking files. I'm gonna answer like 40, 50 questions! I gotta do it eventually. Fuck it. Yes, and bypass all permissions. Fuck it. Let's just roll the dice. They said that fucking working with AI is like fucking gambling. Kind of. I kind of see it. I'm not a gambler. I've only gambled one time in my life. Like in Vegas. One time. And that was with a friend. And he gave me 20 bucks to do the roulette thingy, not the roulette thingy, the slots. That's what they're called. And that was the first time I ever did that, and I lost all $20. Fucking bullshit. I don't get people that do that shit. I don't understand it. To be completely frank, it makes no goddamn sense to me. Gambling makes zero fucking sense to me. This isn't really gambling because I have gambled and this is not that. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's literally one of the most useless fucking things a human can do with money. Literally, it is so goddamn useless. You can do so much better things in the world with money. Like, there are so many better things to do in the world. I think it's just gonna make a stub. I'm hoping that the stub is just literally like a file that says that there's something that exists and it's not gonna actually ask me questions about it, because that would suck. Achoo! Alright, I'm gonna put it back on in plan mode. I have to do that every single time because otherwise it gets fucked. And like, I'll just be running on this thing for bypass permissions, dangerously bypass permissions. And sometimes it's worth it. I just like the option. That's the only reason why I use it. It's literally because I like the option. Most of the time I'm on plan mode, just because I don't want to waste tokens. Like, because sometimes you'll do shit and it'll do shit and it'll keep doing shit and it'll loop. Sometimes too, where it's like, oh, I gotta fix this now. I ran this once. Oh, this didn't work. I gotta fix it again, and it'll just keep fucking going, and then it'll break it worse. Oh my lord. I'm so curious. I hope it doesn't add the intent files. I hope it really does summarize the intent files. Functions, nice. This is gonna turn out to be one of the greatest fucking things I've ever done. This is literally gonna be one of the greatest fucking things ever. Oh my god, please, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. I wanna see it. I wanna see it. Alright, let's take a look at this graph here. Ah, cron window intent still tied. Alright, alright. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at cron window. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my lord, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Dude. Why is it doing that? No, yeah, that's all UI shit. Okay. That might be a bug, actually. This is a thing of fucking beauty right here. Let me tell you, I am fucking pleased. I am fucking pleased right here, dude. This is my cron window. This is my cron intent. It only ties to the cron window. Browser UI. This but not yet ingested. Fucking beautiful! Oh my lord! Index is basically just tying to everything. That's fine. That's correct. Oh, buddy. How does it reference the other one? Yo. It does my entire watch though. This is the face of sheer fucking. This is the face of sheer fucking joy right here. This fucking. Oh, I can't believe this shit worked, dude. Oh my god, dude. No way. No way this shit worked. Oh my lord. I could cry, dude. I could fucking cry. I could cry. This is gonna be the most potent. Dude, this is gonna be the most potent tool that I have in my entire goddamn repository. Like, out of everything that I do. Holy shit. All right, that's it. I'm so fucking ecstatic. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. I am so goddamn happy right now. I am so goddamn happy right now. It worked. All right, yo. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. It's 10 p.m. I'm gonna go to bed. I normally stay up. By the way, that's a normal thing for me. I've been working until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. every single day the last couple of fucking weeks. And it's like, it's time to fucking stop that shit. Dude, you don't understand how goddamn happy I am. Like, all right, I'm going to bed. It's been fucking weeks. I've been working literally every single day for like 20 hours a day. And sometimes it's just a fucking rabbit hole. Like, I'm talking about 5, 6 hour rabbit holes, dude. And this is literally going to fix all of that. I had to reapproach my entire workflow because it's fucked currently. And dude, I just built so like I had the role dictated for the actual like context agent, like the context window for like my sub agent that I'm eventually gonna like coordinate across like, you know, like a whole agent pipeline where it's like multiple sub agents, and then they're basically just putting together like the best report they could possibly put for this, for like what eventually is going to be the scribe and stuff like that, for like what's actually going to be written, fixed, all that sort of shit. It's basically, I think I'm going to do it as like an analyst in general, context / analyst potentially for that kind of stuff. I think that's kind of like the role. And then scribe is just going to get the plan, just pass it over and they write. Don't think about it, just write. So then it's like, if I can do that, and then I could fucking put haiku on that shit, like, and I could save hella tokens on that. So it's like, dude, this is literally like the greatest fucking day of work. And this is my first day back. This is my first day back after taking, like, I took 3 days off. I was cleaning my goddamn bedroom, and then all of a sudden I came back and I did this. I've been meaning to do this for the last fucking week. Oh my god, the last 4 days, at least 5 days. And dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. If you've ever worked with an AI and you're trying to fine tune shit with an AI, fuck, it's like pulling teeth. You might as well just do it yourself. But this is also finding specific bugs and trying to see where they're fucked and trying to like basically trace back the entirety of the, and even for manual debugging, this shit's like essential. Like, this shit's gonna be so goddamn useful. I don't know if this is a tool that people normally work with when they're doing manual debugging. But dude, oh my god, dude, you have no idea how fucking happy I am. It fucking worked, dude. It fucking worked. I needed this win, dude. I fucking needed this win. Oh my lord. I'm so fucking happy. Look at it one more time. I want you to look at it. Fucking, oh my god, dude. Look at it. It's a little net. This is just one window. So this thing right here is just tied to this. And then this shit right here uses these files. And that's my actual my watchdog table, not the watchdog database. This is just a table because that's all it uses. So then it's eventually going to tie to the actual database. So I'm going to have like a net of just my database, and then just wait until I start tying in all my server shit and my Raspberry Pi shit. And then it's like, dude, it's all fucking, I'm so fucking happy, dude. It's a good day. It's a good day, dude. All right. I'm about to go to bed, and I hope you have a lovely night. And yeah, dude. This was a good one today.